Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Demo Day 2024 of the Hughes Energy Ideas Generation Program. This event marks the end of the second edition of this acceleration program promoted by Hughes and Nana Bianca. I am Antonietta Buosciolo, speaking from Florence in Italy. And I cannot be more excited to facilitate this event and so proud of all the 4 startups that went through the acceleration program. They are ready today to showcase who they are and the progress and the achievement they accomplished during the program. But before listening to them, we want to show 2 videos and then 2 introductory talks. So let's start with the videos.
Together, we are facing the biggest challenge of the century. How do we navigate today's energy landscape? How do we make energy more secure, affordable, and sustainable? How do we achieve our net zero commitments? Big challenges require bold solutions. Bold solutions require change in mindset, change in behaviors, change in action. Action demands energy. Cleaner, safer, more efficient, more reliable, more accessible, more sustainable. It's time to energize change. Accelerating adoption of today's technologies. Innovating tomorrow's solutions. Activating greater efficiency. Collaborating through deeper partnerships. Together, we are energizing change.
We previously experienced a couple of acceleration programs. None of this has been brilliantly set up like this one.
Seeing how a global player does this, there's always something to learn, and that is quite enriching.
We have been deeply involved. Every week we have meetings. It's intense, but you grow really fast.
We're partnering up with the leading industrial partner with an immense skill set in the field we're operating in. For us to be able to get direct access to their carbon capture portfolio, I don't think any other accelerator would be able to give us that kind of insight.
Well, we are now with the first connection. We have with us Christopher Pinerri, Director of Research and Technology at Baker Hughes. Hello, Chris. Welcome. Thanks for being here, first of all, and for all your support in these wonderful initiatives. What can you say about innovation and diverse partnership for a net zero future?
Hello, greetings to everybody. I get the opportunity to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from Berlin. So I'm very excited to join you here. And thank you very much, Antonietta, for this opportunity. So under the banner of innovation and diverse partnerships for a net zero future, let me introduce myself and the program. So I'll start by myself. My name is Chris Pinerri. I'm the Director of Research and Technology for Baker Hughes IET, which stands for Industrial and Energy Technology. One of the exciting features of my role is to identify the technologies which align with the Baker Hughes strategic outlook and help accelerate them together with you all. If I share a little bit of background, Baker Hughes is a leading energy technology company that provides solutions for energy and industrial customers alike worldwide. We design, manufacture, and service transformative technologies to help take energy forward, making it safer, cleaner, more efficient for the people and the planet. This is made possible through our technology, our people, our scope and scale, and equally our low carbon commitment. We are strongly committed to addressing the energy challenges the world is facing by adopting new technologies and fostering a culture of innovation and inclusivity. We know that achieving the trilemma objectives of energy security, sustainability, and affordability requires new ways of thinking and the right people to do it. Our people will be our priority as we accelerate towards a net zero future. We know we're better when our people, our employees, and talents from partners are engaged and able to bring their whole authentic selves to work. We learn from those who have different perspectives and foster an agile and flexible approach to working to expand our expertise and horizons. The Energy Ideas Program, launched by Baker Hughes, our industrial and energy technology business segment, demonstrates alignment to our business model and cultural transformation, which includes shifting to a more entrepreneurial mindset. Let me give you a quick sense. So we want to innovate by collaborating with external partners to move from do-it-yourself to partnership. We test and benchmark innovative ideas and technologies to move from slow to fast incremental innovation, embracing diversity of thought to bring ideas and capabilities and move from exclusivity to inclusivity. The program is executed in partnership with Nana Bianca, a successful startup studio based in Florence. The program involves a 16-week open innovation process whereby the startup's acceleration journey gives them access to the breadth of experts from Baker Hughes and Nana Bianca. In the first batch in 2023, the Energy Ideas program opened the doors to experimenting firsthand with the fast solutions oriented startup network. Today, we're here to celebrate the journey and achievement of 4 startups of the second batch. Without further ado, let me introduce to you SenMat, Solid Watts, Aerozymes, and Cooling Photonics. They are complementary in their fields of action, ranging from technologies for hydrogen production, solid-state power amplifiers for radio frequency generation, to bioenzymes for carbon capture, and finally nanotechnology for passive cooling solutions. But before we go ahead though, we're pleased to announce that following the great results of the partnership with Nana Bianca in Europe, we are launching tomorrow 2 things. The first one is the call for the third batch in Europe with Nana Bianca, and at the same time, the first call for the Asia Pacific edition. For the Asia Pacific edition, the program will be executed with a local partner, Link Innovations, who will contribute with us to identify the best startups in the specific region that is a hotbed for innovation. Before I end, I'll take this opportunity to thank a few people from Alessandro Sordi's team at Nana Bianca, particularly Davide Barra and Davide Filiaggi for their unique contributions for the success of the program. And last but not least, the 2 at Baker Hughes, Antonietta Bosciolo and Jacopo Dainelli. So with this, Antonietta, I pass back to you to continue. Thank you very much. And what an exciting journey.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chris, for your inspiring words. And please stay with us, enjoy the rest of the event. And now we have another connection. We have with us Alberto Babbini, Technology Innovation Leader at Baker Hughes. Hello, Alberto. Do you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, thank you very much, Chris. Thank you, Alberto. And now I leave you to share with us something about the Baker Hughes Open Innovation Journey and share with us some key figures and outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you, Antonietta. Well, I'm so excited to be here today. It's a celebration. We are closing the second batch of the Baker Hughes Energy Ideas Generation Program. Also, this time has been a long journey, has been hard, has been exhausting at times, but days like this are so rewarding. And unfortunately, we are not going to have any time to rest because we are not only restarting from again tomorrow, but we are even doubling our effort from now on. And even more because this edition has been so successful that now the bar is set very high. So we need to do even more to bring a similar success to this one. So let me join Chris in saying a big thank you to my team, to Antonietta and Jacopo, and also the others that acted as mentors for the startups, but also to all the people at Baker Hughes that have been part of this extended team of technical leaders and business experts. More than 25 people joined us in this effort from 8 different teams and functions and helped us in delivering a total of 75 hours of mentoring session from market, use cases, technology development, and industrialization. Once again, this could not have been possible without the help of the team at Nana Bianca. They have put together a great deal flow and helped us organizing the 2 workshops we have done and the very exciting final networking event. During the workshops, the team at Nana, both directly or involving external experts, has been able to mentor startups on a lot of different topics like IP management and strategy, analysis of industrial use cases, public speaking and storytelling, identification and measurement of business KPIs. I don't want to steal more time to the startups. Hopefully, they will share with you how helpful and has been this program for them. What I do want to say as a last thank you is to all the startups that applied to the program, more than 100, and to the 4 of them that emerged from this big deal flow and decided to embark with Baker Hughes in this journey that are, as we said, Airzyme, Senmat, Cooling Photonics, and SolidVats. Finally, for all the startups out there in both Europe and Asia Pacific regions, starting from tomorrow, we are waiting for you. Thank you so much. I will pass it back to Antonietta.
Thank you, Alberto, for your contribution. And now we are ready for the exciting part of this event. We have the 4 startups, and it's my pleasure to introduce the first one. We have with us Shwan Hosseini, COO and co-founder of the startup Senmat from Germany. Hello, Shwan. Nice to see you. Welcome.
Hello, nice to be here. Great program, great opportunity. I'm looking forward to present to you our startup.
Thank you. Thank you. So I leave you the floor.
Amazing. Thank you. So hello, everybody. We are Senmat, and I hope you can see my presentation. Everybody, yes, now you can see it. So we are Senmat. We are impact electrolyzer company. And of course, we started a couple of years ago in 2018. There was an idea that we want to start our own company on nanomaterials. Somehow we integrated vertically, and we saw that the experience that we have and expertise that we have in nanomaterials goes much broader than nanomaterials, but to electrolyzers as a complete system. So we started our journey with a couple of fundings, European fundings, and in 2021 we decided to really go make a vertical integration, so develop everything in the electrolyzer by ourselves, because the market is not really good for materials and components. In 2022, we transitioned to being a fully electrolyzer company, and in 2023, we started this upscaling our materials and components for the electrolyzer. We have an amazing team of 6 people that are working hard in the lab to accomplish all the innovation that we have already established, and to go beyond that. And we as the 3 founders, which is myself, Jens, and Aldo. So why we are here today, everybody knows. I don't need to tell you a little bit a lot about hydrogen and green hydrogen production. Everybody knows this. It's extremely expensive and it is not economic, and we have decided to work on that. And for that, we look at the statement of the European Commission. There is no such thing as truly economic green hydrogen, and everybody knows it, otherwise you wouldn't be here with us today. And the reason for that being that the electrolyzers and the systems which produce hydrogen, green hydrogen from green electricity and water, have a high capex and opex. The scalability is not really given, and they use critical raw materials. So these 3 things lead to the high production cost of the green hydrogen, and we wanted to tackle that. And we developed a new technology from scratch. We developed all the materials and all the components for that, and we call this technology high scale. The anion exchange membrane electrolyzer technology. Of course, anion exchange electrolysis is known already, but we have developed a much better and much more efficient system than already known. And our system is ultra low capex. What means ultra low capex? We can reduce the cost of the electrolyzer down to 400. Realistically, if you go for an offer today to an industry and you ask for an electrolyzer, they will come with a price of 3,000 euros per kilowatt, and we can achieve 400 euros per kilowatt. Our electrolyzer has a high current density with our new materials inside. You can design the electrolyzer to be as compact as possible. We go up to 2 ampere per square centimeter under 2 volts. So our electrolyzer is also critical raw material free. That means that we are not bound to any materials from regions which are unstable, and it's also highly efficient. We operate at 80 to 85% efficiency. It's a compact design, as I said already, at high current densities. It's highly scalable because we use a technique that does not need to have any membrane electrode assemblies or a CCM. Our system functions with a catalyst-coated electrodes or substrate. And we operate at new neutral water, and we want to go to neutral water so that our technology in the future can replace all the PEM electrolyzers. These are a couple of competitors, but the competitors on the AEM field are here, Enapta, Vedergy, Evo, Versogen, and Alchema. But all of them have very, very big drawbacks. And one of the drawbacks is they are all highly in capex, extremely high in capex. That means the electrolyzer makes the green hydrogen that is produced very expensive. Low durability. Many of these electrolyzers have been only functioning for a couple of 1,000 hours and died. We also actually bought a couple of electrolyzers and they died very quickly after operation. They use critical raw materials because they cannot achieve high current densities without these critical raw materials. They have a low current density. They operate at 0.7 ampere per square centimeter, which normally the mature electrolyzers, the alkaline electrolyzers, also operate at this current densities. So the question comes up, why to develop a new electrolyzer system if that electrolyzer system is already under the at the same performance level as the mature electrolyzer system? They have large footprint because they are at this low current densities, and they have a low scalability. So what's the plan for Senmat in 2024? We want to bring out a pilot plant, and we are on the good way to that. In 2025, we want to have 1 million euros of sales. In 2026, after an investment round, a second investment round, by the way, the green cycles here are investment rounds. After a second investment round, we want to be ready with a stack production line. In 2027, have a 1 megawatt stack, a single 1 megawatt stack. And in 2028, after another investment round, we want to be building the gigafactory. Introduced to you. So the activities and energy idea programs that we took part of is that we received mentorships on upscaling and industrialization. We received a mentorship in investment, because we are thinking about opening our first investment round in this year. Received also a mentorship on membrane casting and technologies, coating technologies, quality control, IP protection, and many more. It's a very amazing program. We have received a lot of support from the Becker Hughes and Nana Bianca team. And the progress that we did at Senmat during the program is the design of processes towards upscaling, including quality control, investment round, the evaluation of membrane coating methods, and the collaboration with Airzyme on a research proposal that we are going to hopefully submit next year, January. So that's it from my part. Thanks a lot, and excuse the hiccup with the presentation.
No problem, Xuan. No problem. Thank you for the presentation. I have a couple of questions for you, Xuan. The first one is, as startup, how did the Energy Ideas Generation Program benefit your growth in terms of human and strategic resources?
So in human resources, we have gained a lot of visibility. So we have started because we are looking always for talented people with the visibility from Becker Hughes program. We have gained a lot of or received a lot of applications that people want to start in our startup on the newest projects that we got from the European Commission. And what was the other question?
About the strategic growth of your startup.
Sure. So the strategic growth on our startup, it has been influenced by the program in that sense that we have now a much better idea on what we need to put our efforts on in terms of or to become successful in industrialization and upscaling.
Great. Thank you very much, Xuan, for your presentation and for your participation.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you.
So now it's the time for our second startup. I want to introduce Markus Eiselar, CEO and co-founder of SolidWatt from Switzerland. Hello, Markus.
Hey, Antonetta. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. So the floor is yours.
Very nice. Thank you, Antonetta. Yeah. Hi, everyone. We're SolidWatt, and let me show you how we're electrifying industry. the problem we try to solve is that we still, today burn stuff to get stuff hot. And today we do this mostly with fossil fuels. And we're in the business of industrial process heat, which means that really the industry using heat to transform something into something else. And that is really, as I said, mostly still done by gas today. And this is where we really want to help those companies who are actually doing that to go away from gas. And just to get a feel for that, how big or how much this is actually represents in Europe, that the amount of gas consumed for industrial process heat is equivalent to 100 power plants running 24/7. So this is really a huge opportunity. So the team, my co-founder Jan and I, we're somehow the faces of the company, but together in the management team, we have more than 25 years of experience of R&D development in this domain where we are, high power electronics, but also a business developer, 25 years of experience in all kinds of different companies. We're surrounded with very gentle and wise advisors. And we've extended our team as of today to 10 people already, as you see on the top right. So we want to help to bring industrial process heat into the 21st century, as we already mentioned. And the way how we want to do this, well, I mean, again, the old processes are similar to, say, like, okay, gas and electric resistance heating. You're somehow limited by physics. You bring the heat from the outside to the inside, and this is somehow not brilliant for solids if you have to heat big volumes, and it's also not very efficient in terms of energy efficiency. So we would like to promote again newly the process of dielectric heating. So this is a process like your microwave oven at home we use every day, which heats over the entire cross section your material. And this is already being used in industry, in niche applications. And we believe the reason why it's only been used in niche applications to date is because there was, until 10 years or 5 years ago, only one way of making powerful microwaves. And that was similar to your microwave oven at home, vacuum tube technology, notably magnetrons. So we want to go away from this vacuum tube technology and bring the high power electronics generation to the light. What you see here is a high power transistor. This white thing, big like a thumb, is switching around up to a kilowatt or even more. And if you design this properly, you can get away with a highly modular system, very, very powerful, scalable, and reliable. And on the right, you see somehow how we would package that is in the form of a 19-inch rack insert. And if you need more power than a simple 10 kilowatt unit, which is supposed to be our first product, then you would go and fill up those racks with those power modules and having a control unit on top, a power combiner at the bottom. And even for higher power, you would feed all this into a high power combiner. And like this, we would be able to go beyond the megawatt into the area where really heavy industry and processing industry really starts to look into that as well. This is what they need, multi-megawatts. So going here from the left to the right, talking about some verticals. So this is already being used, dielectric heating and composite welding, so say PVC welding, so sort of molding and forming. We have an early adopter client about styrofoaming, food thawing, deep frozen fish, bringing up the temperature and then processing and then freezing it again. This is being done with RF adhesive curing for, say, big laminates of wood for the wood glue curing. Textiles dryings, they're starting to do that, but then it starts to be really into the future, water and wood and paper, advanced recycling, so some future processes and chemical process. This is where I really want to go. This is where the high power is, and this is where a lot of people still use a lot of gas. So if we think about who is actually our competition, so this is really a plot where you see disruption potential over savings, and of course you want to be on the top right here. But to make this a little bit more clear, obviously we compete against the old technologies about gas and resistive heating and also vacuum tubes, as you see here in the cylinder. But we are not the only ones who make solid state power amplifiers. The technology is relatively new. Only since 3-4 years, the semiconductor industry has brought out those high power transistors, which are really for the first time affordable enough, robust enough, and performant enough to really be competitive on the market. And so other people design solid state power amplifiers, but for very different kinds of applications, notably plasma, telecommunications, or laser, and those come with their own set of requirements. As far as we know, nobody has tried to go into the industrial heating market with this technology, and that makes that most of the requirements these guys have for their applications, we could somehow transform and make a design which is very specific and very optimized for industrial heat. And this brings us to this robustness, to this highest efficiency and very low capex and opex. So we've incorporated at the end of 2022. We had some early POCs running. We were quite successful in some startup competitions, and we had raised some money from friends and family to fund our operations. We're really lucky to have been accepted to this incubation program, which we are part here today. There are some other ones going on still. We want to bring our first product out into the market in June this year. And for that, we are also seeking right now a seed round, which would bring us really through the market penetration up to the scale-up phase. The aim is then to somehow develop our technology further so that we can go higher in power and have our first reoccurring customers by the mid of next year. Yeah, this was an amazing program. We had multiple mentorships and trainings, which I drew a lot of value personally from that. Very nice. Again, we also it's always very good to see behind the curtains of a big player. If you just see the sign from the outside, seeing behind the sign is really of great value, inspiration of things how to do, how they could be done. Maybe also some things which you have to stay away from as long as you can until you can't anymore. But it's very interesting to see the ins and outs of this. And of course, I mean, technologically, this has been an enormous play field where we were engaging with multiple players of various different processes, which was very exciting, and we had a lot to learn to understand those processes and evaluate whether our technology could really help there. Again, getting to know the people. I think it's all about the people and the team we have been engaging with, and Nana Bianca and Baker Hughes was really amazing. Again, the applications which we're dreaming of and which we may engage with are very promising. But also, I mean, the other entrepreneurs we have met along the way, especially the 3 other companies which we are having here today with us as well, but also the ones which were accompanying us until then. Is a very nice way of building up a network of people who are somehow in the same shoes as you are, and so the cross fertilization is very nice. So again, we're very happy to have been selected for this program, and we're taking a lot of value away from that as well, especially thanks to the team and the time and energy they have invested in us in making this project such a success. And we're very much looking forward to, after today, what's happening, and keep the discussions and the interest open. I think this is all I had to say. If anything ever comes in the future, please contact us. And if you need heat, we're there. Thanks.
Thank you, Marcus, for your fine presentation. And I have also for you some questions.
Fair enough.
So the first one is, what is the main value gathered during the interaction with the mentors, the subject matter expert, and in general with the Baker Hughes as well as with the Nana Bianca?
I think one thing which struck me very much was the importance of innovation, which was underlined practically at any at any moment. The seeking of innovation, the requirement of innovation, and the absolute drive for innovation. And I think, of course, this is our main business as a startup, but it's quite inspiring to see that, also a big player like a corporate has this mindset and moves forward with that in mind as well. Absolutely, very, very inspiring.
Thank you. And I have another one. What areas do you feel you still need to improve in? And how do you plan to address those areas moving forward?
So that's a nice question. I think every aspect we have to improve upon. We're just a toddler, in the area of companies. But we take one step at a time. The requirements change daily. We're adapting and learn as fast as we can in order to tackle the challenges which are ahead. This is how we do it, and this is how I personally strive forward as well. And again, all the interactions have showed that incremental learning, exchanging, and especially the human factor as well is helping in that direction. And if you're open with what you don't know, then people can actually help you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for your words and for your presentation, Marcus.
Thanks.
Enjoy the rest of the event.
I will. Thanks.
Thank you. So now we have the third startup. We have with us Roshan Purserifi, CEO and co-founder of the startup Airzyme from Sweden. Hello, Roshan.
Hello, Antoinetta. Good to be here.
Thank you. So it's your time. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So we're Airzyme, and we're reversing global warming using nature's own CO2 regulator. And boy, time flies. 16 weeks ago, we embarked on this journey with Baker Hughes and Anna Bianca, and now it's demo day. So let's get at it. So Airzyme, we're a Swedish climate biotech startup, and we were incorporated almost 2 years ago now. We're a multidisciplinary team of 4 with over 50 years of experience at the intersection of biotech, material science, and CCUS. And our main product is enzyme-based catalysts for the CCUS industry. Yeah. Each of us bring a unique set of skills to the team. Myself coming from the energy and clean tech sector, my co-founder Mohsen coming from the process engineering side, Hassan, our biochemist, focusing on enzyme engineering, and Said focusing on advanced materials and gas separation. So we are a small but very complete team. And what is it that we're trying to solve? Well, the best way to decarbonize heavy industry, which can't be electrified, is through CCUS. However, solvent-based CCUS, i.e. carbon capture, has the engineering trade-off between how quickly we can capture CO2 versus the energy required to release that CO2. So the more efficient the solvent is at absorbing CO2, the more energy will be needed for it to release the CO2 at a later stage. Also, these solvents have a lot of operational constraints because they're usually very toxic and they're very corrosive. So on the table to your right, you can see that the benchmark solvent MEA, for instance, is very fast, but it needs a lot of energy for the regeneration part. However, a solvent such as potassium carbonate, which has much better energy properties, has not as quick of absorption rate. So we want to find a way to solve for a fast solvent with a low regeneration energy need. And the solution is actually inside your body, and it's performing its magic right now. The Marvel is an enzyme called carbonic anhydrase, which has evolved for millions of years to do low energy CO2 exchange. It's helping your body right now converting the CO2 that your red blood cells are producing, so you can and converting that to bicarbonate, so you can easily transport it to your lungs. And we're doing this at 1 million times per second. But this enzyme does more. It reacts to CO2 from industrial flue gas conditions, which means that we can utilize it to improve the performance of CCUS. So the enzyme itself enhances the kinetics and mass transfer of CO2 in aqueous solvents, improving the efficiency and yield of CO2 absorption. And if you see the diagram to your right, if you have potassium carbonate on a standalone basis versus having the potassium carbonate with the enzyme added, you can 5-fold the absorption rate. So to sum up the result of it, you increase capture efficiency, which means that you can also reduce energy consumption, which also means that you can lower capex because your unit economics can be much smaller. But my favorite part is that it's sustainable. We're replacing chemistry with biology, which is pretty cool. But what do we do? Yeah. So what does enzyme do? So enzymes are delicate, and to industrialize them, you need to solve for a lot of parameters. The enzyme that's in your body is very delicate and would die at temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius. So we're sourcing the toughest, most temperature-stable enzymes from hot springs and volcanoes, as well as building our own microbial bank to create a comprehensive enzyme library. On top of this, we're adding an AI-driven protein engineering to be able to find the most optimal mutants for optimal performance in different types of carbon capture applications. Furthermore, we're focusing on innovative methods to bring down the production cost so that we can make this solution economically viable. And the aim is to become the pick and shovel provider of stable enzymes for the industry and for companies just like Baker Hughes. Looking at the competitive landscape, there are a few points that are worth bringing up. First of all, there's a big active research community in this space, looking at how you can use the enzyme in different types of applications. Also, how you could improve the stability of the enzyme. But as always, with new and innovative solutions, there's a big gap between academia and real life. Therefore, there are very few commercial actors in this space today. Only one that's worth mentioning. And when we saw this, we realized that there's a big untapped market for the product we're developing with the added features that we will bring into the market, such as being able to add the enzyme in different types of applications and bringing down the production cost. But it's also worth mentioning the indirect competition in the form of alternative CCUS technologies and solvents being developed, which we gladly welcome. We need as many solutions as possible to tackle climate change. And there won't be a silver bullet to fix it all. We need an array of different technologies, of which we will be one. Looking at the good old roadmap, which one tends to never be able to follow. However, we've been quite successful up until now, with this year having some exciting milestones. We'll do our first funding round, taking in roughly 1.5 million euros. We're in negotiation to bring in our first LOIs with customers. We're looking to file our first patent, and our second generation prototype will be ready in autumn. Looking down the line, we're looking to start our pilot testing and scale up production next year, and we're aimed to supply our first CCUS plant by 2027. So coming to these 16 weeks, as I mentioned earlier, they flew by swiftly, and we've received tremendous amount of support, resources, and direct assistance that have been incredibly valuable. The expert sessions on Baker Hughes CCUS portfolio has been extremely useful. The discussions with regards to simulation, just getting an insight into the tech stack and how we can implement our product in that tech stack, if we manage to deliver, was invaluable. And I can't think we would be able to get that kind of access anywhere else. Additionally, we had workshops regards to IP and funding. That's crucial for any startup. We can't also neglect that we actually enjoyed ourselves. On-site workshops with Anna Bianca, with fellow founders, spending time in Florence, and carb-heavy lunches, which managed to get you to fall asleep quite quickly. And with this, I also want to give a special thanks to Valeria, Antoinette, and Christophe from Baker Hughes, and Giovanni and Tommaso from Nana Bianca for their contribution and support. And what did we manage to achieve? Well, during these 16 weeks, we actually scaled up our enzyme production. And this has really been a crucial step for our operational capabilities. And we've done successful stability and precipitation tests on those enzymes. The picture here to your right is actually some freeze-dried enzyme, which we produced a couple of days ago. So just to show you how it will look like, which we will add into the solvent. We've also had commercial breakthroughs with customers, as I mentioned earlier, and as Xuan, the first company at ZenMat, mentioned, we're continuing with research collaboration with them, and this would never have come into fruition without this program. So to wrap this up, we've been on this journey as a startup for almost 2 years now, and as you can see from the classical picture to the left, the road to success is not a straight line. We post about our wins and success on LinkedIn, such as being accepted to this program, but you rarely see the struggles that you deal with as a founder. And trust me, there's been quite a few. But we continue to grind on now, and our main focus at the moment is fundraising, tech validation, and market validation, which any startup struggles with. But it boils down to our mission, which is to reversing global warming using nature's own CO2 regulator by being the leading biocatalyst supplier to the CCUS industry. And with that, thank you.
Thank you, Roshan, for your presentation. We are glad to see that many viewers are following us on the direct LinkedIn. And we have a live question from our Chief Technical Officer, Chris Barkey. So one question from his is, what do you think is one thing that we as Baker Hughes has learned from you during the program?
That's an interesting question. Me, myself, coming from a large corporate in the past, I know the way you operate as a startup versus a large corporation is extremely different. And just be able to share ideas and thought processes on how we proceed our R&D process versus how Baker Hughes would do it, I think might have been an insight. We tend to maybe focus on a complete different set of parameters. We fail fast and we fail hard, and we kind of have shorter lead time. And I hope that we could have maybe conveyed that procedure during our workshops.
Yes, thanks for your vision. Yes, we as a corporate, we need to improve on this, and I hope this program could help in this direction. And also, another question from our side is, in your opinion, what are the fundamental significant differentiator of the Energy Ideas Generation Program compared to those you have previously experienced or are you familiar with?
I think the major difference, which why we decided to apply to the program, is the technical expertise that Baker Hughes sits on, and how the program was designed. Usually these kind of programs are very generalist in mind. They don't have a deep tech approach, and they don't have the technical expertise which you can utilize, which we've done during these 16 weeks. So I think for us, this was a huge change compared to the more traditional startup incubators, where you learn some of the tools that might be adaptable for a mobile app startup or whatnot. So for us, the technical insights were extremely valuable.
Okay, thanks for your answer and your vision. And I have a last one. Did you have fun doing startup while testing the corporate world?
Well, fun and corporate is two words that rarely go well hand in hand. But at this case, it actually was really enjoyable. We got an insight to see how Baker Hughes works. We got to spend time with the amazing people there. As you remember, we had our weekly meetings, which we actually really looked forward to. We got to be challenged in a way that you get challenged in a corporate vis-a-vis a startup. So we got the full flavor, which was great. So we're thankful.
Okay. Thank you, Roshan. So enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you very much. And now we have the 4 startup. We have with us Andrés Cano de la Fuente, Business Development Manager at Cooling Photonics from Spain. Hello, Andrés. Nice to see you. You are mute. We not hear you. Now.
Hello, thank you.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Antonieta.
Good afternoon and welcome. So it's your turn. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to this demo day. Today, I'm going to talk about cooling photonics and what we have been doing here in this Energy Ideas Generation Program. So let's go for it. You know that 17% of the energy that we generate is being used in cooling applications, not only for air conditioning, but also for industrial applications. This energy is responsible for a huge amount of CO2 emissions that we are sending into the atmosphere. Here, at Cooling Photonics, we are developing materials that can reduce significantly the amount of energy that you require. From Cooling Photonics, we want to help the industry become cleaner, reducing the amount of energy that you need for cooling applications, and by this, reducing the amount of CO2 that we are sending out there. Also, we want to help you increase the resiliency in the operational side, especially by fighting the heat and increases in temperature that are taking place year after year. But none of this would have been possible without the contribution of all the members at Cooling Photonics. The beauty is that we are covering all the knowledge areas that we need in order to transform a complex technology into a simple solution that can be easily applied into many different verticals. But how are we going to make this promise? Okay, so this solution is about DC tape. DC tape is a multi-layer material composed by different technology. And what we do is two main things. First, we reflect most of the heat that is coming from the sun. And in the other side, we are emitting and exchanging heat with the outer space. This allows us to achieve subambient temperatures. So it's a very simple solution that can be easily incorporated into the different processes. It can last for long in harsh environment, and it requires no energy and very low maintenance. So let me dig deeper a little bit on how it works. Imagine that you're in the middle of the summer at noon in the rooftop of a building. You may imagine that you can find aluminum, ceramics, or painted metals exposed to the sunlight. Then these materials may be in between 40 and 80 degrees. And at the same point, we have DC tape, our material, that it's going to be at 26 degrees, significantly lower temperature in comparison with the other materials. This is a huge amount in reduction of the energy that you need to keep it cool. So how can our material could be used? You can use it to dissipate the heat from hot sources, or you can use it as an insulator, preserving the cold. It can be used in tanks or pipes. So we envision that our material could be used in different parts of the processes, for processing different chemicals, liquids, gases, even for storing in these very big tanks, or for transporting. We want to help you fight against the heat, and especially reducing the amount of energy that you need here. So we are not the only ones trying to tackle this kind of issue that is affecting the entire world. We have found several companies with very similar solutions, but with different technologies. But we are the only ones with an anti-foiling solution. This means that we avoid dust to get attached on top of the surface of our material. So our technology can last for longer, and it requires lower maintenance. Our competitors are located all around the world, from the West Coast to Japan. And we are taking one step further. Just by using our material, we are developing cooling panels. This system can provide with cool water to the industry without almost no need of energy. So it's a silent technology, generates no CO2, and it works 24/7. The idea for this year is to scale the operations and to scale the sales, applying DC tape in many different applications. About the end of the year, open the next funding round. Regarding the cooling panels, we are working hard in identifying the different use cases and by the end of the year, we want to have an industrial pilot in a relevant environment. So regarding the program, first and foremost, we have invested a lot of time in understanding how Baker Hughes was working, trying to understand which are the best applications in which we can provide most of the value. For this, was critical having conversation with the subject matter experts. Without this conversation, we wouldn't be capable of identifying these use cases and going deeper into the detail. After this, we address the challenge before going into the pilot through simulation, so we can de-risk all the risks that we can have. Also, along this process, in parallel, we were redefining the internal processes, redefining how we were working with our potential customers. So, as an outcome from the program, we were able to quantify the value that we were providing in all these different applications, also to focus in real applications in this industry, especially applying our material in different pipes, storage tanks, or even in technical buildings. As said before, we changed the way we were working. We identified our blank spots, and now we are hiring more people to cover those areas and those activities. Also, with everything that we have learned, we are going beyond. So we were able to further develop all the message around our solution, and we were able to capture the attention of all these companies. Also, we were able to close our first deals. So, as key takeaways and insights from the program, I can talk about the potential and the value that we discovered about our technology and how to apply it in the different parts of the processes, how we have learned about the B2B value chain, and also the sales activity that we need to go through in order to convince these big corporates customers, and also about the ambitions that we have around scaling the sales. But at the end of the day, it's about people. So I would like to spend just a few last words, and probably the most important, to saying thanks to the innovation team, especially Andrea for his patience, for the contribution and the opportunity to brainstorm all together and work towards this common goal. Also say thanks to Nana Bianca and all the experts helping us in the commercial side, to the subject matter experts and the leadership team for giving us the opportunity of being part of the program. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Andres, for your presentation and for your words. Of course, I have some questions also for you. And in particular, what specific goals did you set for your startup at the beginning of the Energy Ideas Generation Program? And have you been able to make progress towards these goals?
Yes, of course. That's a very interesting question, Antonita. So at the very beginning, when we joined the program, our first goal was to run into a pilot, an industrial pilot in a real environment to validate our technology. We are on the way. We have done incredible advancement, but we have taken more about it. We have learned a lot about the value that we are providing. We have quantified it, what is really, really important. And we know that the pilot is gonna come us. Also, again, it's about the people. All the time that we spend together and the knowledge that we have shared has been incredible.
Thank you. And I have another one. What is the main value gathered during the interaction with the mentors, subject matter expert, and in general with Baker Hughes as well as with Nana Bianca?
Yeah, so probably, and I think the most obvious is the knowledge that we've been sharing in two areas mainly. In the technical side, with the subject matter experts, we've been able to go deep into the details, the technical details, the current details. So without the help of the subject matter experts, it would have taken us much more time than it has taken nowadays. And also in the commercial side. So at the end of the program, you realize that you are really committed in helping us on driving the solutions into the market, because you help us from end to end of the solution.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Andres, for your presentation, for your words, and stay with us for the event closure. We arrived at the conclusion remarks, so I introduce Davide Barra, Program Manager at Nana Bianca.
Thank you, Antonietta.
You,
Greetings,
Davide.
everyone. This is Davide from Nana Bianca. As you were saying, Antonietta, we are coming to the end of this awesome event, but before we do so, I wanted to jump in real quick and give a big thanks to all the people that were involved in the program, starting from the founders of these amazing startups that we saw today. Thank you for your work and for working very diligently in the last 5 months. The whole Baker Hughes program team that made this possible, the Baker Hughes management for believing in the program from day one. Also the pool of Baker Hughes professionals that took part of the activities with the startup. Their work was very valuable. And last but not least, the Nana Bianca team and management, they carried out the program with the whole group. Really awesome work. Before we disconnect, let me just remind you about, as Chris was saying, about the 2024 call that will be open starting tomorrow. It will be accessible as usual from our website, energyideas.eu. Startups from all over Europe can now submit their application for the next batch that will start in October. So please spread the word and stay tuned for more awesome projects to come. Thank you.
So thank you all for the participation, and what else? Look at us. Thank you.